Yes, yes, yes. Hey, this is unbeatable. Are we in? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hey, Robert still against.
Okay.
So that's April 8, 2023. Couple of discussion. The influence of Diaspora Liberian.
Listen your style. You're not answering questions I don't ask you.
This open table.
Yeah. No. I'm here along with
Last Tabache, can't be talking too much. Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you very much. This open table. April 8, 2023, topic discussion, the influence of Diaspora Liberian in the October 10, 2023 election. And we have a servant, our still guest, the honorable man, Theo Jalate will understand politics. We're going to be breaking down. We're going to be giving information to the people in the diaspora and the people in Liberia as well. Yeah, Mr. Jalate, how are you doing today, Mr. Jalate?
I'm doing great. Nice to be here today. Thank you. I'm doing great.
Thank you very much. Yes. We'll also be having the newly appointed Ways and Means Community Chair, along with one of the members, Christian Senator. We're going to have Shabbat Pastor Chair, who is the Ways and Means Chair Lady. We have appointed Chair Lady in this community. The Ways and Means we have appointed Chair Lady. Shabbat Pastor Chair. Thank you very much. This open table. Well, gentlemen, is Fulula? Hello, Fulula, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. What about my Junior? How you doing today, my brother?
Doing great.
Yeah, that's what it be. This open table.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. This open table. If you're in Indianapolis, this open table. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Indianapolis. We are discussing Liberia today. We have the greatest man in studio with us, Honorable Theo Jalate. Theo Jalate is in studio, so they have come to discuss the issues. Honorable Jalate, Theo Director who understands the director of politics. In that stream, to the microphone. He has come again to give you some information. Honorable Matthew Director. Theo Director is a studio guest. Theo Director is a studio guest. We'll be discussing about politics, the influence of the diaspora Liberian from October 10, 2023 election. Yeah, that's the topic. Mr. Director going to be discussing on that. The newly appointed Western Minister lady, Tabasa Sache, will also come and get some information about the community, about how she's going to run the community when it comes to the ways and means. About ways and means in this community. This is why we have Tabasa in the back room to be combined with us soon. But I don't know if Fulula.
Yes.
Mr. Fulula, where you got your mind today? Before you go, so it's a pressing party. Where you got your mind, Mr. Fulula?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Host. Well, my name is Nyan Volula. The music will continue to play.
Yeah, Fulula, go ahead.
Yep. My name is Nyan Volula. Right here in Indianapolis. So, what on my mind today is two things on my mind today. It's all national issues, in Liberia. There is a group called the Opposition Task Force. They are being supported by the former representative from Maryland. His name is John Bader. So their aim is to merge both Joseph Boakai and Alexander B. Cummings together. They are from the opposition wing. So today they had a press conference. They said tomorrow, well, by Wednesday, they will be, assembling at the Unity Party headquarters to appeal that the word used to appeal to Joseph Boakai to put aside personal political matter and look at Liberia at large, to be able to merge with Eddie Cummings to, rescue the country from the hands of George Weah. And also that same Wednesday, after the Unity Party, headquarters, they will be heading to the CPP headquarters or the AMC headquarters to do the same for Eddie Cummings, to, appeal to him as well, to put personal political matters aside and look at Liberia at large and look at the vulnerable youth, the future of the youth, to be able to merge with Joe Boakai to rescue the country from the hands of George Weah and his gangs. That's what it said. And the next thing on my mind, I hope that, that their dream come to pass. I hope they succeed, because that's the ticket that the entire country won. Anybody you ask, whether in the diaspora or in Liberia, they will say we want Eddie Cummings and Joe Boakai ticket. So Eddie Cummings as a leader, Joe Boakai as a leader, they got to listen to the people, because that's the people they will be leading the people. They will not be leading themselves. So the people request got to be taken into consideration. So I hope they listen to the people. The next thing on my mind today, Senator DeLong opened the Center for Rehabilitation and Reintegration for vulnerable youth in the country, especially drugs abuse youth in the country. They call that center the CRR Center. So they opened that today, and they said they're starting with 10 patients at the center. But what I been thinking about is, it is a good thing that Senator Dillon is doing such thing in the country, to be able to take care of rehabilitate the Zogos back into society and be productive citizens. But the services that will be provided at that center, what is the regulation to those services? who going to be spot checking those services if those services will be done according to policies and procedure or laws that govern the practices of mental health or just addiction practices in Liberia. If the question is there anything like that said to regulate such practices in Liberia? And I think they should go to the attention of professionals, mental health professionals, psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, nurses, doctors all around the world to be able to form themselves to come up with something that will regulate practices, because malpractices, medical malpractices around the world, it can be very bad. So I think professionals around the world got to, they got to, take that to consideration to be able to come up with some procedures or some regulations that will be able to uh, regulate practices, mental health practices in Liberia.
Thank you very much.
I know that there are professionals that will be providing those services, but professionals do make mistakes. Professionals do make mistakes.
Thank you very much, Jan Fulula. Thank you very much, Jan Fulula. Thank you for the breaking news that you just brought to us. Well, we did not know about that. Thank you very much, Jan Fulula. Honorable Chairman, where are you? Honorable Chairman, are you there? Chairman Joseph Azikizagasa Jr., where are you?
You can go to
Mr. Jalater. Before we first ahead, I know you are the studio guest, but when we come on, when everybody come on, we'd like to introduce yourself, but we just want to know what on your mind, what you get on your mind today about Liberia or anything you got on your mind. So before we just watch ahead and then try to do other things. But what on your mind from there, we could just dive into the show.
Well, once again, it's always nice to be on this show because there is a special time for Liberia. It's a special election. Since Ellen's left, will be our first test of how peaceful and how the democratic systems are working in Liberia. And so this election is something that weighs heavily on my mind, simply because it is a time for us to look at the field and see whether everything is level. Or I know there are a lot of work to be done, but there is a test for our systems democratically to be tested. So it's something that is on my mind in terms of the peaceful atmosphere or the ways in which our elections will be, especially this coming election, will be conducted. It's something that weighs on my mind in terms of maintaining the peace relatively that we have enjoyed over the years since Eden left. So there is something that really, really weighs on my mind, if you will.
Thank you very much. That is the voice of the Honorable Man, Mr. Jalater. Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, you can send a link to our guest, our studio guest. They need a link on Messenger. Can you do that instead of sending to the email? Honorable Chairman, can you do that, please?
I will go ahead and do that. Thank you very much. This, and you can go ahead and talk.
Yeah, Mr. Fulula. Yeah, we are waiting on the guests. We're gonna start diving straight into the stuff, but we gotta wait for the guests to join, or we can discuss without them listening to what we're saying. So that's why we are waiting.
I think Madam Patient is on already.
Okay.
So you can ask her to introduce herself.
But I only seen PK. I'm not seeing Patient.
Ask her.
Well, PK is Patience Canada. How are you guys doing?
Thank you. We are fine.
All right.
Yeah, we are doing very well.
My name is Patience Caneva.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said PK down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Patient. Okay. Patient
Caneva. There you go.
Patient Caneva. Can you please introduce yourself on Open Table and the rest of the world?
Oh, well, my name is Patience Kanedeth, and I am truly new to Bills and Means here. And I was actually waiting for Sabah to actually open up the table because she was supposed to be telling me some more about what we was discussing together. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
go over her head, and I want to speak for herself.
Okay. She's about to be joining you anytime soon. Probably like give her a minute, just a minute. Should be joining you anytime soon. But before we dive into this issue, I think since Mr. Jalate is on, Mr. Jalate, can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please? So you are the guest.
Well, once again, I am Tio Gilate. I am living here in Indianapolis and working here as well. Um, I'm from Liberia, as I guess every one of you is also from that land. And I went to school here in the U.S. And I'm more than happy to be part of the discussion and be on the show. So once again, my name is Tio Gilate.
Thank you very much. Another honorable man, Tio Jalate. Thank you very much for that perfect introduction. Mr. Honorable Chairman, I think you don't need no introduction, but for the audience sake, you can come up with your introduction so that those are in Liberia and out of state and other places so that they can know that there's an honorable chairman himself. Joseph Asigizana Jr., go ahead and introduce yourself to the rest of the world.
Joseph Azigizana Jr., a resident here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Grew up back home in Liberia, and it's a pleasure to be here. We are working on our guests, and it's a good thing to have Liberians are gathering together today, discussing issue pertaining to Liberia and our community here in Indianapolis, because it's always great to hang around your own people. No matter how far you are, you should always try to connect back home. My dad used to say, like, no matter how long a lost stay in the water, it can never turn into a crocodile. So we are Liberians, regardless of wherever we are. So it's a good thing to be here.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of the Honorable Chairman Joseph Asigizana Jr. And well, sir, we have not getting Sabah online, so I think we can just go ahead and start discussing the influence of the diaspora Liberian in the October 10, 2023 election, and then I think we can. Yeah, are you talking to me, Honorable Chairman?
No, I'm not talking.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we dive into the discussion. Our studio guest, Tio Jalate. Mr. Jalate.
Yes, Chief.
How are you doing, Mr. Jalate?
I'm doing great.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and it's a pleasure again once more for you to be with us in studio. The number to call is 317-717-1162. We have our studio guest, Honorable Tio Jalate, one of the greatest species on planet Earth that you want to interact with. But Mr. Jalate, so the influence of the diaspora Liberian in the October 10, 2023 elections, what is your intake when it comes to the influence of we that in the diaspora when it comes to the election back home?
Well, great question, and I hope that all of us that on this show today will take our time to kind of dissect the influence of diaspora, especially on this coming elections. I think we all have to understand that Liberia has always been a country in which the voices of diaspora, especially in terms of our elections, influence the way in which the people on the ground, the locals, behave in more cases. Sometimes it helps influence the results that we have. So the diaspora influence on Liberia elections is not something new. But in recent decades, we have seen that um, the voices are getting louder and louder and louder in terms of maintaining peace, holding people accountable on the ground, making sure that people that are qualified are elected. So it's something that I look forward to discuss today, especially so generally we have seen um, diaspora influence in the Nigerian election, for example, or Peter Obi, right? We understand that he did raise millions of United States dollars in his Nigerian election, and that prepared him to kind of campaign and do sort of things. In terms of in the Liberian case, though, we have seen that people are really campaigning on social media, on the internet, and in many ways, the diaspora are weighing in terms of this coming election, being able to select a particular qualified individual that will lead the country in the right direction. So I'm more than happy to discuss with you guys so that we can have a healthy discussion on the influence of the diaspora in Liberia, especially so for this coming election. So um, we can go from there.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mr. Volula, the favorite son of Niba Kantenya. Volula, you got any question for the studio guest?
Yes. Mr. Jate, thank you so much for the time taking to be here for us to discuss burning issues pertaining to our country, Liberia. Knowing that diaspora Liberian will not be voting in the upcoming elections, and what influence do you think they really have there in Liberia? They are sitting from the far.
Well,
They are sitting from the far. Sorry, the kids. Yeah, they are sitting from the far and they're just talking. All we can do is to make phone calls, over there. But we're not there. What we're telling them to do, the voters now, what we're telling them to do, we're not there if they're going to, really do what we're telling them to do. So it's another thing for you to be on ground, and it's another thing for you to be away. So the mindset of we African is for us, we as long you're not around me, I can do whatever, right? So what really the diaspora Liberian can do to make an impact in the upcoming elections?
well, great question. So Liberians in the diaspora have always making their presence known on the ground in terms of what is going on in that country. But correct me if I'm wrong. This will be the first election since Liberia make into law a dual citizenship um, in our country. So we have to, as I was saying, take this into consideration simply because in the past, um, it was just Liberians in the diaspora, right? Their impact was very limited into um, campaigning online, calling family members to vote for SYZ. Not our SYZ. What I mean is that to vote for their candidates.
Okay.
Calling family members, campaigning, raising fundraising. So there are several ways in which they over the years that they have been influencing the result on the ground. But this one is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be the first, once again, the first election since dual citizenship was adopted in Liberia and was made into law. So we don't know to what extent whether you said that people would not be allowed to vote. I don't know whether that is the case. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong once again. And if that is the case, though, the yet and stay they can stay may influence people's minds on the ground through various ways. So there is something that we have to pay attention to. And it's very easy to criticize. It's very easy to say, look, you guys can do that, you guys can do that. People in Minneapolis, people in New Jersey, from all over the United States, right? It's easy to criticize and say this is what we want our people to do, simply because we are far away from the consequences on the ground. But we have to understand that the people on the ground, though, they have um, the system on the ground has changed. Liberian voting system, it has changed. The people themselves, they have been informed and they are actively participating. So things are very different this coming election. So let put a very a special attention to what is going to happen in this November October election.
Mr. SYZ, can I go with my second question, please?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Let me lay this down. I'm a member of EULA, especially on the EULA board. What EULA have done is, we have put a petition at the desk of the president, the legislature in Liberia, to allow Liberians in the diaspora to vote to their various embassy. But what we don't know now if those petitions will be accepted or not yet. But what I want to say is the current administration, they have the money. And knowing our voting trend in Liberia, the ordinary Liberian, they always have the tendency of accepting little or nothing to vote for people that will not be able to represent them right. So what can the Liberians in the diaspora do to change the mindset of those Liberians on ground that are making the decision to change their mindset to be able to vote right for their future?
Great question, but I just want to ask you a brief question before I dive into that. So previously you said that this coming election, Liberian citizens
Mm-hmm.
who may hold dual citizenship in the diaspora
Mm-hmm.
are not voting the coming election. Is that the position of the government?
Right now, yeah, that's a position of the government right now. Even though EULA have petitioned them, both the executive and the legislature, to be able to allow Liberians in the diaspora to vote. But the government saying, election commissioner is saying it is not possible at this time. But the process is in. Whatever EULA have done, it might not take effect this coming election, but probably next election, it might come into effect.
Yeah.
Right, great.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
go
so much.
ahead. SYZ, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we have Sabah on the line. Sabah, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Sabah,
here.
are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, thank you very much. That is the newly appointed Ways and Means Chair lady of this community. It's a plus that we have Sabah on OP table right now. Oh my goodness. Hey, OP table. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the rest of the world and OP table at large.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sabah Sosa. I live in Indiana, Plainfield. I am the new Ways and Means Chair for the Liberian Association of Indiana, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting me, Open Table. And I hope everyone is having a beautiful weekend. I know it's beautiful out there, so we're just here to talk about what's best for our community. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are very happy on OP table to receive you. Oh my goodness. We have a princess on our stream. Oh my goodness. OP table. Hey, OP table. Honorable Chairman, Junior. Honorable Chairman, are you there?
Yes. It's a good thing to have you here. A good thing to have you here, Sabah, newly elected Ways and Means chair lady. you newly appointed with a Miss Chair lady. It's a good thing to have you here. While appointed elected doesn't negate the fact that she's gonna do her job effectively. So
Right.
the appointed and the elected is just something that is just ceremonious. I
No,
believe that
no, honorable chairman, I differ with you. That is not ceremonious. Appointed and elected, they are distinction. Go ahead.
I'm not going to go into a monologue or a dialogue with you. I'm talking about that does not negate the fact that she will do her job effectively. So whether it's appointed or elected, Sabah is going to be a very outstanding chair lady for Ways and Means Committee, except you want to question that. But it's a good thing to have her here. So our student guest, Mr. Theophilus Jata, when we talk about politics back home, we talk about Liberians in the diaspora and their influence. We have seen Liberians in the diaspora influencing our elections things back home in a positive and negative way. Some of the wars, some of the bitter war we went through, it was orchestrated. Matter of fact, they put it together overseas. Uh, so in this year elections, how do you think Liberians in the diaspora can positively, positively change the negative that is attached to mostly Liberians in the diaspora? That we are the one that are bringing wars, we are the one that are bringing chaos. Sometimes, like truth be told, the records are there. Most wars sometimes they really didn't start from back home. They started from Liberia in the diaspora because they were in power with finances, so they supported war. So how can we positive change things this time?
Well, great question. We have to understand that once there's always this sort of mentality that if you live in the United States, you deem to know better. If you live in the diaspora, you have experience, and so therefore you have all the ideas. And truth be told, though, we can see that almost, if not all, those that have come to power in Liberia, presidents, ministers, and those that work in various powerful agencies in our country are returnees. In other words, Liberian from the diaspora went back home and seized those positions. And once again, we have to understand that most people on the ground, it's easy to muddy the water and just walk away, especially so when you are live far away. Especially so we can see that people have been criticizing government and individuals on the ground simply because they know that at the end of the day they are not going to shoulder the consequences of their actions. They fly away. But that being said, though, there are Liberians in the diaspora can positively, as you said, can positively not only influence the election but also make sure that we don't go back to where we're coming from. We don't go back to those kind of dark days when everybody was running head to scatter. So our responsibility now is, so hey, what can we do? Do we have anybody in that country that is threatening the peaceful transfer of power, or that is threatening any rebel activity, or that is doing something negatively that will affect our home? At the end of the day, everyone has someone. We all are interconnected in this country. So this sort of interconnectedness can influence anybody, especially we that in the diaspora, to be able to say, hey, anything happens in that country is not going to affect only one person, going to affect all of us. So it's contingent upon us to say, look, let's do our best, either via social media campaign, or calling family members, or coming up with suggestions. As my comrade said, the Liberian Association here, they talk to the Election Commission in Liberia to make sure that Liberians all over the world that have dual citizenship can vote. This is fundamentally important in democracy. If we are Liberians, it doesn't matter where you live. If you hold that dual citizenship, you should be able to vote. So I think it's a good idea. That is another way of making sure that our voices, are part of the solution. So if I am voting for someone, right, I am in Indiana, in Minnesota, in New Jersey, wherever I may be, if I am voting for someone, that person has a responsibility to tell me why I should vote for them. Right? We have seen other countries, the president have come here, all those that vying to be president, they have come to the United States and talk to the diaspora population and say, look, this is what I'm going to do if I'm elected. So hopefully in the near future, that will happen. But right now, as you said specifically to your question, Mr. Sele, is that we can see ways in which positively, either through online activities, social media, or through calling family members or speaking to power, we can add our voice to maintain the peace that we have relatively enjoyed so far on the ground. So yes.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. To my second question will go to the newly appointed Ways and Means chair lady, Madam Sabasso. So you look great, and
Thank you.
your team member patient.
Right.
First of all, congratulations. Congratulations to you and to myself. I was appointed budget chair committee, for which I know there's a whole lot Bulayu and Hala Hala in the community. But we move because progress is not going to stay and wait for the noise in the market.
Right.
We have to do the job of the people, and that's the important thing. That's why we accepted this position. So, to you, Madam Nunde, elected Ways and Means chair lady, what are some of the things you plan for this community, the Liberian community in Indiana? What are some of the things you plan with your team that we can look forward to, and how ready are you for the job?
Well, what I can say is not just me. This job is about teamwork. I am not here to promise anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's teamwork, and it's gonna be by the grace of God that we all gonna work together to see the for our community to be better. So we have a lot of things that we are planning.
Okay.
Like I just got appointed, so I cannot speak on much. I can speak on a lot of things here right now, but we are planning so much. Like I said, we are planning to have our first fundraising in maybe June 17th, and we have a meeting coming up on Sunday. So we are trying to do fundraising to try to cut down budget. We want to bring in more money instead of spending more. So we have a lot of things planned. Like we're trying to do fundraising to see if the Liberian Association can have their own generator, because we're gonna have a lot of park activity. We don't want to be renting things because we're gonna be spending more money. So instead of us renting generator from outside, we can have our own, and try to if you are in a community and you are up to date with your deals, you can rent the generator if you're having occasion, if you're having program at the park. You can pay like 50, 20, whatever we're going to come up with, but at least we're going to have our own. We're also working on having our own speakers. When we're having occasion, we don't have to, pay a lot or to rent speakers from out there. we can have our own speakers. We want to cut down, expenses. We want to have something that will be for ourselves. We want to have our own thing. It's going to be for LAI. It's going to be for the community. It's not just about this committee. Is not just about partying, to have party all the times. Our fundraising will be more about, helping our government to bring in funds.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. So you are thinking forward, and that's a good thing to see, that the fact that you are telling us about the forward thinking that you are going to bring to this community, and that's a good thing. We will be here to help you in that regard, especially when it comes to that generator that you guys want to get. The community can tap into my discount. We do, depending on the size of the generator, I can give the community discount, and the community can have that. That's because some are in that able to do that. But if you guys need generator and need a discount, by all means, I can help the Ways and Means Committee go ahead and do that. So your
Not to
team
cut you off, my dear brother, I was just gonna recognize my beautiful sister patient.
Yeah.
She's also part of the Ways and Means Committee, and she was there before I was appointed. And patient is driving from work right now. She's in her car, so she's also open to answer any questions you guys have for the Ways and Means Committee.
All right, patient. Yeah, patient is driving, and we want for patient to be safe, so patient can be able to work with her sister patient. But if you can tap in and you're ready to tap in, let us know. Mr. XYZ can go ahead and control the show.
Yeah, I see patient. She's moving her hair back and forth like a pendulum. No problem, but be careful how you're driving over there. Can you hear me, Honorable Chairman?
We can hear you, right? We can hear you clear.
Thank you very much. Sabah, I'm very overwhelmed that you have been appointed to this position. I'm very happy indeed. I know you can produce, and based on some of the things that you just said to us about the generator and that of speakers and stuff, because we understand that they past program, the inaugural committee,
Right.
the inaugural committee, when they came out, they needed a speaker, and then they needed a DJ, and the DJ said he wanted a specific speaker. So that you guys hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, they wanted a DJ, and the DJ said that they wanted a specific speaker. They were going to go rent a speaker. That wish, and the committee there, we're not going to spend more money when it comes to the DJ. And,
Right.
But so you come here with these ideas, the LA are going to have their own speaker. That is a brilliant idea. That's why we need some of you guys on board. You see, you were sitting back there with your brilliant idea. I'm glad that you are on board. But there's an issue. You just been appointed, and then now you got a big program coming up. That's July 26th.
Right.
July 26th is coming up. How prepared are you when it comes to the July 26th, 2023 program?
Well, we are right now. I can't say much, but we are planning. And I know for a fact my team is well prepared to organize the July 26th program. And I just got appointed, so I cannot say much. But like I said, we have our first meeting coming up tomorrow, and the July 26th program is already something that we've been talking about. And we know for sure we're going to do a great job. And we are encouraging everyone to come out, to support us, because this is our community. It's not just for one person. We don't want to be divided in this community. We just want to be one people. We are all from Liberia, so I pray and hope.
It's ticking. I can't hear you. Chairman, what are you doing?
You have to know that it doesn't just come from the side of me. The person have the video.
No, I think it was my fault. No, I was calling here.
I'm here. Are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Amen. Jeremiah. Not Jeremiah, but yeah. What are you doing there?
I didn't know she was on the phone.
Okay, go ahead. Sabah, are you there?
Yeah, we can move to the next person. I think her phone is having sticking problem.
Yeah. I think I will switch to patient. Patient, are you there? No, patient is not there. Mr. Jonathan, are you listening to the newly appointed Ways and Means chair? She was propounding. She gave some information, and she said they're going to try to raise funds and other things to buy generator and speakers for the community, for LAI, that which we live in this community. We deserve those things. And I also asked her about July 26, 2023. July 26, 2023 program, and she was propounding until when so, Mr. Jack, what is your take on what we're discussing?
Yeah, I think one of the things she said was that they're going to do a lot of things, buy their own generator, make sure that the community has their own equipment or whatever they can use so improve the community. Those are great ideas. I mean, we all need to support the community to make sure that it's not dogma but pragmatic in terms of helping individual within our community. I too want to see the community improve. So whatever the agenda it has for the coming summer or going forward, we want to see that some level of things that they want to do differently. It's not like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. What are you going to do differently in terms of improving the organization and making it better for every one of us? Not criticizing those that have done their best. Everybody that has come to the position has done their best to make sure that when they were there, they did what they're supposed to do. But what we want to see is going forward is an improved Liberian organization in Indiana that is impacting the lives not only those in Indiana but those back home. As we mentioned earlier, Liberian diaspora have a powerful voice. How can we use that voice to improve the lives of people in our country and in our community? So I think I embrace those ideas that she mentioned. We'll all do our best to rally around the leaders for our organization, but also we want to see how best they can improve and impact the lives of individuals in Indiana and as well as back home.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The favorite sons of Niba County.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you have any question for the newly appointed Ways and Means Chair?
Yeah, I do. But first of all, I want to say thanks, Sabah, for accepting that position. Knowing very well that the financial that position is a financial engine of the organization. That position raise funds for the organization, and we need someone who is influential, who's is a people pricing to be able to bring people together and support the organization. And I think the organization have arrived to that pricing, which is Sabah. I have known Sabah for some time. She's very influential in this community. And anything that Sabah is doing, everybody wants to support that, which is a good thing. And I'm so excited that she vowed to accept that position and moving forward. But however, I don't know if she hearing me. I want to know, speaking of speaker, I don't know if a DJ set that they won for the organization, because I'm saying this, the organization do have a speaker for part event and stuff. They do. I know of that for a fact. I don't know if it says a DJ set they won for the organization or not. And secondly, knowing the atmosphere for the inaugural team, the atmosphere in the community for the inaugural team, what will you do to gain back the people's trust to be able to attend programs in this community? What will the team do to gain back the people's trust? so that people can attend or programs in the community.
Sabah is having technical difficulties. I think
Yeah.
she's having some technical difficulties. Sabah, can you hear us?
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hearing you.
The question is,
I'm hearing you guys, but I don't know if you're hearing me.
Yeah, we hearing you
We
now.
hear you now.
Okay. I kind of got some of your questions, but
I can go
at the
over.
end, I didn't really get any part of it, but I would just answer
No,
to what I heard.
let me read
What I
my
got from you.
question. Can you hear me?
I think she will.
When it
I think
comes to
she
the
will go
speaker
ahead and answer your
issue,
question. Yeah, that's okay. Let's
we was
attempt it and
hoping,
go
like a lot of
further.
times when we ask DJ to play for our occasion, you know, in Indiana, we always have that budget. Like we want to spend at least three something or so. So DJ's gonna charge, like if they have to rent speakers, they gotta, charge according to what they have to rent and to bring, for the party. So, um, speakers we're talking about to have like party speakers. Like we don't want to have like controller or whatever, because a lot of the DJs can work on their own controller. Some DJs, prefer their own controller. They know how to operate, their own stuff. So we just want party speakers, big speaker. I have a speaker that I can use to the park if I want to, do any activity to the park. But we want something for the hall. Like if we having parties, the DJ just have to come in, bring their controller and connect. They don't have to go out there to rent speakers, And I think it would cut down budget. Instead of paying 500, who knows? That DJ can come in and say, since you guys already have your speakers, and I'm just coming in with my controller, y'all can give me 300, 200. You never know. So that's where I'm coming from with the speaker issue. And like I said, we have a lot of things for LAI. It's not just about speakers. It's not just about having fundraising at the park. There's a lot of things the Ways and Means Committee have planning. And also, before I get going, let me also recognize my co-chair, Mr. Barakaba. He wasn't able to make it today. Wish I reached out, but hopefully next time we're all gonna be on the show together. So
Yeah, and then you can go with your follow up about. I think Jan had a question of getting the people to follow up.
Yeah, Sabah. First of all, you did hear me.
I don't know why I'm not hearing you guys.
Can you hear me?
She's not hearing us.
Sabah, you hearing me? You're not hearing me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please go like this open table. Honorable Chairman.
I think I'm hearing a little bit.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Give the question to patient. Patient, can
you hear me? Patience, can you hear me?
Yeah, patient, there's a question for you. Patient, are you there?
All right, let's move forward. They're still working on that.
I'm not hearing from the phone. Are you hearing from the phone? Yeah, but I'm not.
Yes. I'm hearing you as well.
Yes, hearing me. Honorable Chairman, are you hearing me? I don't know why patient is not hearing me.
Patient is about having technical difficulty. All right, Mr. Jabate. Let me just pose my question to you. My question. Speaking of the elections in Liberia, who do you think will make a good president? You sitting from the far. If you speaking, if you're using your influence to influence the voters in Liberia, who will you, recommend to the voters in Liberia to vote, to put them into office that will make a change in the country?
Well, great question. My position, even as a Liberian diaspora, my position is to encourage every Liberian who can vote to go ahead and exercise that franchise. Very important that that people that can vote go ahead and vote. So it's very, very essential in politics and in democracy. Well, that being said, when you say who do you think qualify, who do you think is going to lead the country in the best way forward, those are great questions. But what we have seen in Liberia over and over and again is that we vote people into power that end up not doing good. And that is simply because most of the time people vote not on their own conscience, but as a result of influences around them, whether it's from diaspora, whether it's a result of money, whether a result of gifts that they receive. People vote, just to certify sometime their daily bread to be able to, if you go over there and give somebody a bag of rice or half bag of rice and say, look, go and vote for the person, obviously they're going to do it, right? But is that person that they're going to vote for is the right person? So that's another animal by itself. So I can tell you that it really excites me really to see the level of participation, especially in the last election and in this coming election, that Liberians are now, especially those of them on the ground, they are now trying to walk away from this financial influence that we have seen over the years. That you will come and say, okay, I'm coming from United States, or I'm a returning. I'm going to give you guys some amount of money. You can vote for me and vote for my guy. Be very careful now. Liberians are getting smarter all the time and every day. They are walking away from those kind of politics. The children will eat your money these days and vote for whoever they want to vote for. So and so that is a different kind of dynamics that we have to pay attention to in terms of what things are on the ground as we speak. So I mean, I do trust Cummings, a very great guy, hardworking guy, somebody that came here, work hard. You could be a good guy. Uncle Bwakai could be a good person because he been there, he have seen a lot of things, he gained some experience. He could be the good guy. Joshua as well. So any of these guys, but I want to give the process a chance, that the common man on the ground will look at what they have experienced over the past. Are their lives better today than what it was yesterday? What can they do? So, but if you were to ask me what would be the result of this coming election, I can certainly tell you, based on what we see on the ground, we will have a good election in Liberia. That's my prayer, that we have a good election. But who will emerge to become the president? That is a very exciting thing. And I can tell you, based on politics, based on African politics, that President Weah is going to win this election again. Not that he qualified, because you got to pay attention to that. Not that he has done good. I'm not saying they not do good, or not that he's the most qualified. I'm not saying he's not qualified. But what I'm saying, based on African politics, incumbents always, most of the time, emerge to be the leader on the ground, right? As we said over the time, that look, you guys, Peking, go ahead and vote for my uncle Bwakai. Go ahead and vote for Mr. Cummings. This guy will trust them. But the Peking saying, look, all we know in my community, Joe, we are based swimming pool. I'm going to vote for Joe. We are not going to vote for anybody. So what we tell them usually might be the right thing, but their action may be different.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think we want to dive a little bit. Thank you very much, Chalatet. That's a very good point. You just tried right there. That's a very good question Jan Bruder just asked, and I like the way the conversation is going. I want to switch the pendulum a little bit to the wisdom mean chair lady and that of her co-host.
Can I ask my question to the wisdom mean?
Patient Cannibal. To the two of you, I don't know how many members. To the two of you, I want you guys to answer this question. You say your co-chair is not here, but we don't know the reason why your co-chair, Mr. Fadakaba, is not here today on OP table. Probably he might be working somewhere, busy somewhere, doing something in the community. Nobody knows, but you know, you are the chair for the committee. So the question to you, to the two of you, is how many members are there on this committee, because the committee wants to know.
Somebody is also complaining that they can't hear. So let make sure that the person can hear and speak very clearly so that they are in. You guys hearing us?
Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, about we're hearing you.
Are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if one of my team member patients want to say something, so maybe you want to.
She not hearing us.
You want to get that question? No.
Patient.
I believe right now we have 6 members. Very powerful members.
What? I'm on the phone.
Go ahead.
Right now we have Loputier, we have Agnes Nan, we have Patience on here, and we also have Mr. Barakaba, Mansange, and myself. So we have a very strong team, which I believe in will surely deliver and to help our community.
Yeah.
So and more to come. We are accepting people. This Ways and Means committee is open to the community. If anyone have the skill and you feel like you want to work, you want to serve your community, you are welcome to come board.
So, SYZ, yeah. They have vacancy. They have vacancy. With the Miss has vacancy.
yeah, no problem. I can want my sister. Oh my goodness, but you go to McGee. Yeah. Mr. Chairman, do you have any question for patient?
I think she's having a technical difficulty with her phone. She's not hearing, so we will have to be diving switching between Mistress Sabachi and Mr. Teofilo Girate, because I think
wanted to ask. He wanted to ask question. I don't know, Mr. Chairman, whether you can give him the chance to ask his question that he wanted to ask.
Yeah. What's your question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, Sabah, can you hear me now? Sabah, don't start listening to the receiver in the background.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, go ahead and ask your question. I mean, you got to.
Okay.
No. My I'm so sorry. My I was actually trying to log on a computer.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Okay. Yeah, Sabah, I know you are very influential. First of all,
my internet is giving issues, so I'm just trying to work with what I have right now.
Yeah, we can manage that.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say kudos to you for accepting this position. You are one of those that we've been looking at in that position for so long. Thank God that you can step up to really, serve your community at this time. Now, from the inaugural committee, the community felt disenchanted. So what will you do as a Ways and Means chair? What will you and your team do to gain back the community trust to be able to attend to meetings and be missing programs and be able to support programs?
First and foremost, what I would say, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna play with finances. I will, be in the know of some, but not all. But during that time, I was not on board, so I can speak on more about the inaugural committee. So I can only speak on something that I'm aware of. So what I'm gonna do to change some of those things, like a lot of people was complaining they fixed food and their names were not, they wasn't recognized. A lot of people donated. So my team and I, if people donate and people fix food, and our plan is that we're going to include their names in the program sheet during the July 26th program, even if that's the program we working on at that time. We will include their names and what they donated, and we're not going to say, oh, we are not going to be like, oh, we're going to push it on the rug. So like I said, we are encouraging everyone. I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to tell, when people donate, I'm going to reach out to tell them thank you. Apart from telling them thank you, I'm also going to have their names in the program sheet for everybody to see. And also, if we get funds for the July 26th and any other programs, we will also keep our receipt. We will have special person, to be transparent about it. We are going to be transparent about that. We're not going to cheat anyone. This is our community, and we all want the best for our community. So, if I can work hard to bring this community in front, I have children here. I've been here for over 20 plus years. So the only thing I can do right now, and along with my team members, is to bring our community forward instead of bringing them backward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a question.
I have a question too for our guests that just spoke. Is there any way I can go ahead and ask my question?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
So I don't know what you guys planning to do in terms of. I have seen past leadership that what they used to do is
Sure.
whether individual contributions or whether um, anybody donate to the organization or there's something significant that impacting the lives of people. They used to have a what they call newsletter, in which they can put the person's name and give update of what's going on in the community. By that way, whether you have gone for meeting or whether you have talk to anybody, if anybody can pick up that newsletter, they will be able to see what the community is doing and who has done anything so far to impact the community. Is that something that you guys plan to do in your government or in your leadership?
Okay, I think Sabah is here for the Waste and Means Committee.
Okay.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so. We are planning to do such,
She is
but
the official spokesperson for
all those things
the
will
government.
be done by the SG and the IRC chair. They will highlight all that and post that in their news, whatever they got to inform the community on.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
That was a brilliant answer from the Wisdom Miss Chair lady, Sabah Chair. Thank you very much, Mistress Chair. Thank you very much. Question for you, Patient Carnival.
Patient, not
You
hearing
can hear
you.
us. You can hear us.
Okay, this question go to Mrs. Chair. Mrs. Chair, what mechanism are you going to put into place to, like when we had an inaugural bar, what mechanism are you going to put into place when it comes to the ticket sale that we will not have some urubadu stuff like happened from when the time this lady was a chair lady for the inaugural bar and that of Mr.
Financial people, the
How
financial
much
sector,
busy are you going to put in this place that when we have
every form for
in this community, we're going to have our proceed and everything that we're going to generate a very good revenue without any woodoo and stuff
Are
in
you
this
guys
community.
hearing me?
Have making the people to go away or to
Yeah.
shy away
My phone
from our
issue.
community. Did you hear me?
No, go ahead.
I reiterate. When it
Yeah,
comes
I
to the
mean,
ticket
I was hearing you. I'm using two phones, so sorry about that. Okay, so
uh-huh. I reiterate.
lot of things. One of the things that my team and I have planned is that when it comes to programs in the community, we're trying to get we're trying to get like a stem. I don't know if you guys are aware of the stem. Sometimes they use like to Chuck E. Cheese or so, where the stem, you know, they will stem your hands or so for people who will enter, because we don't want to do the band, so we're trying to get that stem so that when you walk in, we're gonna stem your hand. We talk about is that a lot of people love to come to party late, like myself. So if you come to the event late, you will still have to pay the full price. And another thing, we was planning on like Cash App and Zelle payments will go to the financial secretary, to the LEI account. And we're also gonna have someone sitting at the door, or all those who are gonna pay with Zelle and Cash App, and the amount we're gonna have someone charge to put their names and the amount on a paper. We're gonna have a notebook for that. So we can also compare what the financial secretary have to what we have. And also, we want to get the kids involved with a lot of the activities for this summer. Not just this summer, but we want to get the kids involved. We have a lot of talented kids in our community. We want to engage. We want the children to come on board. It's not just about partying. It's not just big people thing. We want our children to be involved. I have 3 kids that was born here, so I want them to be involved. So those are some of the things right now we have talked about. I don't know if that answer your question. So
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I think you did well, and you answered his question. I think he dropped the line. Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and take over.
Yeah. Yes, Abad, thank you. Thank you so much. We don't want to keep you here long, because probably you have something going on and stuff. So is there anything for the community that you want to, say? Is there anything you want to tell the community?
He's trying to say your parting statements about you just some
right now, what I want to say, first of all, I want to say thanks to all my my members. Thanks to the community first, and also thanks to Mr. Parker for appointing me on the for this position. And I'm pleading and asking each and every one of you guys to come on board. The last time on the Logan Hours, I don't watch the shows like that, but my husband do follow the show, and also my brother follow the show and stuff. So I know on Logan Hours they also have 2 females on there who talk about empowering other females and stuff. So in my mind, I feel like
not cool
as a female in this community who've been living here for so long, if I was appointed, even if you cannot go on early out to say congrats or so, maybe as a big sister or so, you can reach out and say, hey, congrats, and we are here for you. Whatever you need help with, we can be there for you. But instead of going on to say, oh, ready. I'm gonna resign, I'm gonna do this, I'm that, I'm here to help our community. I am not here to, listening to people what they have to say, especially when it comes to negative things concerning this community or this government. We are here to push forward, and we are one people. I will ask each and everyone that we all should try to be together. We don't want division in our community. Before I came to America, Indianapolis had LAI. So if you cannot fix it, do not destroy it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sabat. You can hang around if you want to, but it's a Saturday. If you have other activity, to do and to take care of family, you can exit. That's your choice. If you still want to be on, you can be on. And we're about to dive into some other activities that is important to Liberian in the diaspora.
Um, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just want to say something real quick, and special thanks to Patient for coming on. I know it was a short notice for you to come on here. I really appreciate you coming on here. And also thanks to all my team members, and also thanks to my first lady, our beautiful mother, Miss Sonny Parker. We appreciate you for all that you do for us, and also Elia too, my beautiful sister Wilma. And we just want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. And we hope, like I said, our program will be our first fundraising going to be June the 17th. And we are encouraging everyone to come out to support. We're going to have the best toboggi. The best toboggi will be to the pack. You know what I'm saying? Come out and buy your toboggi fish. Get whatever you think you can get. We all this money gonna go. I know generator is not expensive, so even if we get like who God knows what, we can take 500 and buy our generator. The rest can go to the association. So we are just splitting to everyone to come out to support us on to support us June 17th. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here, and I appreciate you guys for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabat. Thank you, Sabat. It was a pleasure having you here, and you can enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We will have you here whenever you are back again. Patient, you want to say something before you leave? Patient, can you hear us? Patient, can you hear us? I think Patient is using Bonanza or from Liberia. Or internet is from Monrovia. Patient, it cannot be. We have to get Patient a new phone. She's on our Ways and Means Committee.
Patient, don't worry. I'll have to get you one phone.
Yes, Patient. We have to give you a better internet. Sabat, we have to talk about patient internet. Patient internet is not good. It's Liberian internet.
Sabat is gone.
Patient, you can hear us? All right, Patient, we love you. We'll put Patient in the back. We'll put Patient in the back. We'll put Patient in the back, and we have we have a discussion. Okay, guys, we're back to on the topic for Liberian in the diaspora. Their influence, the influence of Liberian, are influential Liberian in the diaspora. Patient is trying to get back home, but I think she will. Hi, Patient. Hello. Yeah, we leave Patient out for now. Let's continue the show. I think Patient did well. First and foremost, thank you, Patient, for coming on. Thanks for taking your time this beautiful Saturday to join us on the show. Sabat, thanks to Sabat. I think, look, gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I have no doubt that Sabat can do the job. The Ways and Means is not about taking care of the entire administration and putting it on your head. The first thing about that position is to be a people person. And Sabat is well qualified in that regard to be a people person. I'm not even going to talk about her cooking. Her cooking is, I think, is second to none. Very few in the community. She cooks well. So I'm pretty sure that the food she will be selling on her event, the people will go there to buy them. But congratulations to her. We pray and we wish her well. Shout out to my brother G Consistent Morris for accepting the position as assistant budget committee chair. My goodness. G Consistent Morris is going to be the most powerful man because to whom much is given, much is required. I will step back and allow my brother to do most of the show. He got to run the show. I believe in my brother. So let's dive into our Liberian politics. So, Mr. Theophilus Jate, you said you rightly said that there is a trend in Africa, especially in Africa, that incumbents like the president that are there when they run, they always win. Winning is very much associated to president that is a president that is already in power. I mean, it's a fact. Most time when a party is in power, for the party to go to election, and you have to stay very strong because there are a few things. There are a few things they have. They have the finances. The finances of the state is in their hands. So for you to outspend them is very hard. Number one. And number two, they are already carrying on projects. They can always beg the voters for continuity. Like, look, we want to continue our project. So do you think a combination of Joseph Boyka and Alex Kuman can overpower the ticket of George Weah? Do you think? I mean, you are already saying that it's a green light for Weah to win, and I cannot argue with you any further on that. I sit here. I really think that Weah is going to win as well. To be frank, and because the opposition, they are not getting it right. They are divided. The opposition bloc, they are in chaos. So, do you think combining Joseph Boyka and Alex Kuman could change the narrative or give you a different perspective on this year elections?
Well, that is a very good combination in terms of being together. The two of them, they have vast experience, and that they can that they can use in terms of organizing a powerful, strong force that can overpower whatever Georgia is doing. So it's a good combination. But in politics, at the end of the day, is it boils down to winning. It boils down to the people, number of votes, all of that. So I mean, I do believe that they have, in terms of the diaspora, the diaspora power is behind these two guys in terms of you know helping them to kind of go ahead and take that position and lead Liberia forward. But at the end of the day, um, what is going on the ground? How's the locals are reacting to this coming election? My thinking it been or has been that because of their exposure every day to Georgia and the little things that he's doing, and in fact, not only that he's incumbent, but he's appointing most of these guys, the election commission and those that are working over there, and all of that. So I do believe that if we want these two guys to win, we got to make sure that not only talk but walk the walk, raise funds, help them to get them the resources that they need. But it's very hard. The truth of the matter is very hard for you to go against an African incumbent. At the end of the day, I believe that the locals, the common people on the ground, especially go to the various villages, and most of the people can tell you, say, I never had a house. Jovia built me a house, whether it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom house. At the end of the day, they can count on that. So I believe strongly that that Jovia Cummins and Boaka combination is a good combination. But at the end of the day, I don't see a winnable force behind those two.
Oh, okay. Mr. Coach, let me take over your show. You've been going out.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Furula? Furula,
yes, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Mr. Furula. So, do you have any question for the studio guest?
Yes, you keep Mr. Theo, you keep emphasizing on African incumbents. Can you please elaborate on that move for for the understanding of our listeners? When you say it's hard to just go against African incumbents, what make it different from other countries around the world? Just can you just please elaborate on that for the understanding of our listeners?
Well, great question. What makes it very different, though, is that compared to what we have in Africa and compared to what is going on here in the United States, you can see that sometimes people can attempt, incumbent can attempt to kind of steal the system or a sort of foul play that will juxtapose them to their position or to stay in power. You see Trump asking for, hey, Georgia, if you can give us this number of votes, just give us this number of votes. That's what we want. We will win. And at the end of the day, the people stood their ground, right? But we're talking about Africa. We're talking about people, especially um, election commission. Those people will do anything if you give them the money. Those people will change things around. So the system is not strong enough for people to stand the force of the government. So at the end of the day, they will bend towards the incumbent government and do whatever they say. So that's what make it very hard. It's not that it's impossible. It's just extremely difficult for an incumbent African incumbent to lose election because the system is not strong. It's not built enough to nurture that sort of democratic process that we have seen in the West.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful answer. I think we have our brother and one of the greatest men in this community, the IRC chairman, Mr. Mr. Chia. Mr. Chia is with us right now in studio. Mr. Chia, go ahead and introduce yourself. I know you just joined us. Mr. Chia, can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Well, thanks. Thanks to you, Open Table, and everyone in the listening audience. It's good to be a part of the show. I've been following your show for a couple of months, so I think it's always a good thing to come on and share some thoughts on prevailing circumstances and things going on in our one world. Thank you. My name is Jeremiah.
Mr. Chia, before people ask you a question, what is on your mind when it comes to current event and other stuff around the world, even in we that live in the diaspora and that are back home, different there, we can dive into the questions and stuff that maybe probably my colleague have some questions for you. But what is on your mind right now?
Well, as always, Liberia is on my mind, and as we draw near towards the upcoming election on October 10th, we encourage our people back home that are capable and are of age to exercise their franchise to go and register first, because it's the only way that all of your complaints can be alleviated. Because sometimes when you don't register, you don't have a say in what's at stake. So we appeal to people to go and register so that they can be a part of what's to come in October. And I learned that there has been an extension by NEC for certain counties for the next few days. So I think that's a right step in the right direction, so as to get our people prepared and geared up to register to vote in October.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. I think we're going to have the Ways and Means Chair back. I think she wants to come and address some stuff. I think she'll be coming back. You can easily give her room so she can come and address some issues. The Ways and Means Chair going to be coming back on the show. Anyway, is Jonathan? Where's Jonathan?
I think he dropped out his computer, or maybe he's having problem.
Mr. Vulule, do you have any question for Mr. Chair?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I do.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, we are discussing the influence of diaspora Liberian on the upcoming election. So, what do you think the diaspora Liberian can do to influence the elections positively?
Well, the diaspora Liberians can do a whole lot, starting from where we are right now. by sounding the caveats, putting all these or numerous or literature out there so our people can see and understand what is at stake. Like I said previously, because some 400,000 plus Liberians live outside and presently in the diaspora, especially in the U.S. And those 400,000 plus people have almost 1 million remittances being sent back home every year. Those people support families back home. They support projects, businesses, and whatever. And those people have say in the day-to-day body politics of the country. So if they are going to change the trajectory, they will be doing that by influencing people like their family members, the community dwellers, and everybody to tell them what is right. Because sometimes our people look up to people, especially outside the country, as like being people. It's not that we are better than them, but it's like you see something that they don't see. Sometimes it's like you perhaps in a better place and want to waste some influence, like do this. I think when you do this, the children's future, the school and everything is going to be okay, because the last time we checked, when we voted 2017, the result we see now, it is not suitable, and I think the people are feeling the pinch and they are back home. And so now it's only prudent enough for us to tell them that you guys need to do the right thing this time around, because no one knows the right thing until you find our leader to sit down and they start to do something for the people. But now, for what we are seeing, we don't want a recurrence of that. So we are encouraging people to first register and then change the narrative through their votes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Janate, do you have any
Yes.
question for Mr. Che?
Well, it's good to have Mr. Chia on this platform that we can exchange ideas and look at the situation in Liberia as so the best way forward. Um, Mr. Chia, looking at the upcoming election and the fact that Liberia now adopted the dual citizenship policy in Liberia. Now, you know, what you think can be done fast enough, if you will, that Liberian citizens abroad can have that voting power?
First of all, these things has to be enacted, because if they've already passed the dual citizenship bill, I think it should be easier for people to render our citizens outside the country to vote through mail-in ballots or overseas ballots. Because if that system is set up, I believe every Liberian eligible age to vote should be able to exercise the franchise through that means. Because I think the legislature needs to come up and make things clear along with the neck as to how these processes are done. Because being dual citizen is one thing, exercising your franchise is another thing. Sometimes people, you are dual citizen, you go to Liberia, you can do that. But what if you sit in the U.S. or Germany or somewhere in Poland and you want to be a part of your voting process? Is there a means? Are there mechanisms put in place for our citizens abroad to vote? Maybe through our local embassy here. Maybe you cast your ballot and then they mail it and send it, and so that they can facilitate the process by checking it. Maybe we don't know, but maybe it's just the first step in the right direction to make sure that our people can vote, can be qualified as dual citizens. Then the next step would be telling them how to vote. Maybe.
Yeah, thank you very much for that beautiful answer, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead. I think it's Mr. Jan Valula. Mr. Jan Valula, you can go ahead.
Mr. Fuller.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Like I said previously, that EULA is doing a lot of things for the Liberians in the diaspora to have some voting power. But the report that we got from the EULA chair, the board chair was just in Liberia recently. When he came back, he made a report to us, and he said that there's a communication on the desk of the president, the NEC, the legislature about how appealing to them to see how they can add something for the Liberians in the diaspora to have some voting power. But what he told us was it might not be possible for this election, but next election it might be possible. The good thing is something is in place. Advocates are out there for such thing. Like what happened to the dual citizenship? It didn't just started today. Dual citizenship started back in 2012 with the same EULA. EULA is the one that put dual citizenship into place in Liberia, and today we have dual citizenship. So it is a process. We will get there, but it might not be this election. Well, as I don't have much question right now for Chie, unless I will ask some. Okay, let me ask this question, Mr. Chie. Now that people are advocating for the Kumis Bwaka ticket, like the entire world, the entire Liberian, the Liberian across the globe are advocating for such ticket. What do you think? Do you think it will be possible with all the rigmarole that been going on between, the two?
Well, politicians do have ego, but for the greater good, I think what the people yearns for is what a good politician should go for. If the people are saying this ticket makes it to the finish line, and the politicians agree on that, I think, in my view, is salient enough for them to pay. But looking at the history of the recent pairing, I think there might be some mistrust. And there are also viable candidates from both sides that from the both political spectrum that can throw in their weight behind their own candidates. Because Mr. Cummings could go along with anybody else, like maybe Lehman Bowie or any other potential person. It doesn't even have to be just Mr. Burkhardt picking him, because he's also a presidential running candidate. So I think if that's what the people want, Jeremiah, cannot say they can have it, but it should be done properly this time, that the people, someone will feel cheated, someone will feel embarrassed, someone will feel insulted. But if you're looking at a bigger picture, I think it's better that way. But don't forget, Ambassador Barker has been in a coalition all along. Likewise, Mr. Cummings, and I think Senator Yombly is a potential running mate. Likewise, Mr. Kuhn Jeremiah, as well as Councilor Tiawon Gonglu. These are fine people, and I believe that if I had that choice to make on a single ticket, I will make it in my mind. I don't know what I'm at liberty to say here on the air, because we still have months to go. But I would prefer a ticket that have what the Liberian people really, really want.
Thank you very much. We have our Ways and Means chair back on the line. Mrs. Chair, are you there? Can you hear me? Hello, Mrs. Chair. Well, I think we're having some technical issue. Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, okay. I know that there's a saying that in politics there are no permanent enemies, no friends, only permanent interests. And Mr. Theophilus Jrate, Alexander Cummings has been running in for president in Liberia for, I think, for some time now. He's been engaging into the process. But for me, I think he's doing something terribly wrong. Because if you are participating into Liberian politics, over a certain amount of time, we expect you to have the crowd, or at least moving in the right direction. We see that Omen Boyka is still having more crowd than Alexander Cummings. George Weah still has more crowd than Arizona Cummins. Do you think Mr. Cummins should change his strategy? Maybe his diplomacy is not working well too much for Liberia. I think Liberia there's a there's a better way of campaigning in Liberia than what he's doing. Because for me, I think it's not moving needles. I think the strategy is failing. It's not effective enough. Uh, do you want to speak on that?
Yeah, of course. So Kumi, it's not that he's doing anything wrong per se, um, but Kumi has never been the people's candidate. Kumi has always been the diaspora candidate, or people outside of Liberia. What am I saying? This Kumi does not have a base or a stronghold in Liberia. Liberia have regions, Liberia have counties, as you know it. We can, if you look at the map of Liberia, you can't pinpoint to a specific place. Maybe Morovia. You can pinpoint to a specific place that you say that if elections were to be conducted today, Kumi can win this county, this county, this county, and that county. Kumi is kind of very limited in terms of the voters themselves, in terms of, what region, what county can rally around Cummings, except he sort of, attach himself. Um, sorry to say, maybe if he will attach himself with a popular candidate, he can pull that ticket. But in politics, if you don't have a winnable path, if you don't have a political path, why should you continue? So I do agree with you that he has a change strategy. Maybe he's not the guy to be the head of the ticket. Maybe he can be, assistant. Maybe he can be someone else. But Cummings has not always been the common man's candidate. He has always been the candidate of the diaspora population. So we've been pushing Cummings, but on the ground itself, I don't see a strong movement, a ground movement, a sort of grassroots movement that will propel Cummings to become the president, especially so when you have incumbent in the race.
Okay,
Well,
so follow up. So do you think in this scenario, do you think since he's not the people's candidate, he's not moving needle, do you think uh Joseph Boyka can be his John the Baptist? In sense that Kumi is the Messiah, but the way for someone to prepare the way for Kuman, he has to pass through Joseph Boyka. So the John the Baptist is going to be Joseph Boyka. Hold Joseph Boyka hand, and then the old man gave you the thing for one turn, and then now you become the popular candidate. You become the candidate of choice. Do you think that's going to be a route that he wants to pursue?
That could be another path. That could be another political path. Because right now we see that you have the incumbent president, you have Joseph Boakai. These two people so far, their numbers are very close enough in terms of the people on the ground. So Kumi could take that route to say, okay, let me attach myself to Omen Boakai. And then at the end of the day, if the Omen is non-available, I can be, or in the next round election, I can be. But coming to be the head of that ticket is more likely very difficult for him based on what is going on the ground. And we can. He has been having the opportunities to do that, but he failed several times. He keep on failing simply because, as I said earlier, he's not the people candidate. So maybe he can sandwich himself between maybe use Omen Boakai, or maybe use another person, or maybe just be an active voice. But if you look at the candidates that are running today, it's not more of it's more of me than forming a strong coalition. The coalition is not together simply because everybody wants to be the head. That's the problem we're having. We're talking about an organization, a movement, a sort of coalition that will prepare the country for the better. But at the end of the day, they're fighting among themselves as to who will be the head. So you don't have a very organized coalition, with a very determined head, agenda that is ready to take on Joshua.
Thank you.
You are very fragile.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you very much. I have a question for the both Mr. Chia and that of Mr. Vulule. Let's say if election were held today in Liberia, we are diaspora Liberian. So who do you think going to be the victor when it comes to if today were October 10, 2023, and then we went to the poll in Liberia? Who do you think we're going to be the victor? The two of you, Mr. Vulule and that of Mr. Chia.
If elections were held this afternoon, George Weah will be the winner. George Weah will win the elections. Because as we speak, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Number one, as we speak, the leading opposition candidates are yet to find a suitable running mate as vice president. One, whereas George Weah has his setup already up and running. His incumbent. Mm-hmm. They already have state power. They already have all the resources. Number two, they are in the process of registering people. Do you know that the same card that they use for this voter registration is the same card that the partisans of the CDC are using with the biometric sign at the back? These people have been registering people even before the process started. So you think they are just going to sit back and fold their hands and let it slide? That's why the opposition needs to present a tough face, a face that is winnable, that you can't argue. Somebody who had 400,000 votes the last time but lost the election and came second. That's why you need that person in place. Somebody who had 100 and some more thousand plus votes. That's why you need those two people. Those people can pull the votes to go up to the second round. Then all the smaller parties or smaller people can join them. You can't win George Weah currently. The way we are proceeding, we cannot win. I'm gonna be honest with you, because the thing is, if we sit in the diaspora and lie to ourselves, the people who we lying to, they'll someday figure out that we lied to them. But we should tell them and tell the political leaders, look, this is what you need to do. We need to come up with this name. This name, why is so hard? This is the first decision of any mature politician. Find your running mate. Find somebody who you can align with. Somebody who has your ideas. Somebody who has your back. Somebody who is capable of becoming president on day one. Assuming that you very healthy, you go to work and something goes wrong. Somebody who able to handle the mantle of authority. That's what we need. We don't need people who will be second guessing people yet. We also why should do? No, we don't need that. So for that reason, I'm not even the incumbent. They are just there because they were fortunate to win this going election, and they are there now. But now, if you start the polls today and you go to vote today, you can't go with a single person without a running mate. So it's tantamount to disqualification. So I mean, the opposition needs to do more, needs to do well. All the people, Simeon Fremont, all the people that can come to run for office. You think the people serious? The people just want to participate. They just want to. This election and 2029 election are the most crucial in Liberian people history. Just how 2017 was, because number one, right now the fate of Joe Burkhardt will be sealed this 2023. Whether he becomes president or not, we'll find out in October or November. And if he doesn't, there's no coming back. He had two chances.
Okay.
Now,
before you land, let me cut you a little bit. Before your Fuller can come in, I just want to for you to give me some clarity, because let's say 2017 election, we had like 26 political parties in Liberia, and currently I don't know how many political parties we have registered in Liberia. So if anybody have idea, do you have idea?
It will be around 22.
22?
Yeah, 22.
Okay, thank you very much.
you draw the whole 22 down to the best 4.
Yes, I would say 22 because that's the number that signed the agreement, the Farmington agreement recently. That the number of party that signed that agreement recently. 22 political parties signed that agreement. But again, we are looking at the four best front runner, the 4 front runner right now. That what we're looking at, which is George Weah, Joe Buckeye, Cummings, and Gonglo. So these are the people that we're looking at. And I kind of concur with Chie, in what he just said. The opposition need to put boots on the ground. And not just putting boots on the ground, but they need to unite. That's the only way they can defeat George Weah. George Weah have the resources. They are all over in the counties right now. They're reaching out to people every day. You get up, you will see CDCs on the media. They are marketing themselves more, even though they are not doing anything for the Liberian people to believe, but they are putting themselves out there. How many times you can see Joe Buckeye in the community? How many times you can see Cummings in the community? I can give it to Gonklo. Gonklo is all over in the remote part of Liberia. He's all over in the interior where I can't even read. You will see Gonklo there. But Joe Buckeye and Cummings, Monrovia is not Liberia, So those things they need to put their act together. If they really want to take state power, they need to work harder than what they're doing right now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Volula. I think we have back the Ways and Means chair lady, Mrs. Cheer. Mrs. Cheer, how you doing? Mrs. Cheer. Saba, are you there? Yeah, Saba, I think you have something to say. You got some clarity to make. The pendulum is yours.
Yeah, her volume is having a problem. I think she's.
Yeah. Mr. Cheer, can you help?
No, I cannot help. I'm in Studio B. I cannot help. I'm on CNN. I cannot help. The woman is on Fox News.
It's okay. The woman is working on her technical difficulty. She's working on her. It's okay. So it's okay. I think when everything is okay, she will fix it and she will clarify things. She wants to clarify.
Okay. So anyway, we'll switch.
Let's open the line.
Yeah, the number to call is 317-717-1162. The number to call is 317-717-1162. We have Mr. Janata, Mr. Cheer, Mr. Volula. We have Mr. Cheer also in studio. We are here discussing the issue. I got the chairman, and I'm the humble servant, the greater Ezrazi. We are here discussing the issue today. Mr. Janata.
Yes.
Mr. Janata, looking at the political arena right now in Liberia, like election is coming right anytime soon. Voter registration is taking place in Liberia. So, like, for us in the diaspora, especially you, I know sometimes you go home and it says like, hey, I'm not been home, and you've been going to Liberia, you are understand, you are a grassroots when it comes to Liberian politics. Can you hear me, Mr. Janata?
I can hear you. I can hear you very clear. Go ahead, please.
When it comes to the Liberian politics, and you understand that politics when it comes to most of these political parties over there. According to you, you said if election were held today, George Weah would be the victor because he's an incumbent president. He's a leader for now in Liberia, even though some people will say he has not done well in the country, and all the other political parties have not put themselves together, including Mr. Joseph M. Buckeye with the Unity Party. But he doesn't even have a vice president that we can post up right now to say this is the vice president, Babylon Kennedy, that we can post up. So, on that note, looking at all of these things that I just cataloged, if and only if we have, like say, Mr. Cummings being the vice president candidate to Mr. Buckeye, do you think that foe will be a formidable force against the CDC-like government?
Great question. So, even at that, if we were to pair Boaka and Komit, right? Boaka being the head of the party, or let's say the coalition, for example, you stay sort of will bump into a problem because of the sort of institutions on the ground, the groundwork, the ground movement. You can see some sort of moving networks in the diaspora in terms of Komi and Boakai. We're seeing some sort of activities in terms of campaigning, raising funds in the diaspora for these two individuals. But on the ground, the institution, on the local level, the grassroots, we don't see some sort of seriousness with respect to what they're doing in terms of campaigning, reaching out in the interior. Their stronghold, if you will, it will be Morovia, where people the internet is available, they see what's going on the internet. But if you go very deeper into the countryside, into the interior, the institutions that they build is not that kind of strong to say, okay, we have people on the ground, the process is going on, they started the campaigning, we will win. I mean, I don't see seriousness, from the coalition. Look, we Liberian people, we want a good president, perhaps a sort of radical leader that will come and say, look, Liberia have been a victim for this kind of corrupt guys. We want a serious person to prepare us to the next generation of Liberians that will enjoy this level of democracy. But we don't see that kind of seriousness. Look, these guys should be ready before they can come before the Liberian people and say, please elect me. Or not, you will see over and over and again, you see a person like Ome Tuana Tipote. Tipote come here every day. Every election Tipote. Every election Tipote. Every election Tipote. Mr. Tipote, you're not even reaching the number of people that some in some election Tipote will have 20 people or 10 people. But you didn't say the old mistake keep coming back. So what we say is that, look, these guys need to be serious in terms of wanting for the Liberian people to elect them. They have to show us something. They have to be serious. They have to build institutions that will support them. Other than that, they will bump into problem.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have a question for you. Maybe Mr. Vroila can buttress. Madam Chair can buttress also. The question is, what can we do in Liberia, in the Liberian political system when it comes to presidential election and stuff, to narrow down the too many multi-political party system? What system can we put into place to narrow down having 26 to 22 political parties?
First of all, I believe the National Elections Commission, but maybe through their bylaws, can enact, or through the act of national legislature, can enact some stringent rules as it relates to percentage, that you cannot participate in an election and you get 0.0%, 0.01% is not counted. But again, don't forget, the proliferation of political parties is all in geared towards fundraising too, because the NEC use those funds to add to their own budget, because you're not going to win. They charge you to register this and so for your candidacy or your political party. You can't register. Well, fine. Just meet the standard, meet the laws that are set. Be of age, be a Liberian, meet all the criteria. We'll take your money from you, register you, but you go there, you be able to convince people to vote for you. But again, the demarcation has to be set, because at least to participate in a presidential election, even if you're losing, you must be able to put up some 25,000, 50,000 people should believe in you out of 5 million people. But out of 5 million people, you go check the whole something, 100%, something, then which means it's possible. Even your Facebook friends are more than 5,000 people. Even though you don't interact with all of them, but at least a solid 100 of them who have your back in some way, mean or form. But you're running for president of all bunch of other natural resources, you get 10% following you to your own rally. Then you think you're serious? You're not serious. Maybe you just adding your CV up, like I participated in my country's election and so forth. But I don't think it's the right step. You just making the place pack. At the end of the day, the man who carries like 10 person, then you say, I throw my support behind you. What support? Say that 10 person are bringing home my people. Then you jump on the other man. Then you want minister job right there. So you see, these things we are very disingenuous to our own selves. So at the end of the day, I believe, but every country, the solid four, solid two, solid three, are the ones that people look up to make those decisions, because those are the ones that, like, even here we got the Republican, Democrats, the independent, all the people. At the end of the day, between two people, at the end of the day, the box starts with out of the two. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Volula, do you have anything to add to that before we go to Mr. Chair?
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that, because these are the system that people fought for, people die for, people share blood for, and stuff, right? So it is democratic right there. That gave people their democratic chance. That gave them democratically. That gave them chance to exercise their right. So these things, I don't think there's nothing we can do. So if you in the race, just use your talent, to influence people to come your way. That's all we can do. I don't think we can do anything about that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Do you think we can do something? I see you falling asleep. Mr. Chairman, get some energy drink.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm not falling asleep.
Mr. Chairman, what can we do? What can we do to get rid of most of these political parties when we have about 26 or 22 political parties in Liberia? What are some mechanisms we can put into place?
I think Liberia is a practicing democracy. Liberia is a practicing democracy, and anyone can participate. However, I believe that we can set the standard very, very high. We can set the standard very high for people to be well qualified to even open a party or decide to run in Liberia. You should, by doing so, you will eliminate some of the insignificant parties, like increase the amount for a party to be formed.
Yes.
Nobody should be having a party when they don't have 5,000 or 10,000 in a budget, and the running oil, cash app, and everywhere asking for people. That's because you got 5,000 and 10,000 now. You open your party, you say Jomo Kianta party. You call it there 5,000. Matter of fact, some people opening party based on a tax return from America. They take tax return, they go back home and they open party. Look, to have party, you have to have the finances, the wealth. Look, carry it up to maybe 1,500,000.
Yeah.
You have to show your book, your bank balance. That neck, look at those things, and then say yes, the party is able to feed at least 10 candidates or 10 senators or 15 senators. Like, how many parties can really sponsor senators to run in the elections in Liberia? How many? Most time they are depending on the standard bearer of the party. We do not have institution. So we need to look into that. Not to allow people to take tax return from America or from in the diaspora and go back when we open a party. No.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. Your answer is genuine. I think that's the answer I was looking for. Because the issue is we have all these mushroom political parties that live from here. Then when you go back home, they say, send me cash out. Do this, tell me. We cannot do that. We have to put our trust in people that love the country. We have to put our trust in people that can deliver the deliverables. We cannot keep doing these things wherein you get your political parties, your headquarters can be in somebody's living room. Why are you doing that? Why are we thinking Liberia? We are thinking so narrowly. Anyway, thank you for your answer. The chairman said you should have $1 million in your account. You should be able to show your bank balance to net. At least the government should be aware of some of these things that you have. You have property and stuff in Liberia. And also, you should do something for the people to rely on. Now, send me cash app right now. I am ready to become a representative. No, we say no to that. Thank you,
But
Mr.
how
Chairman.
many
How
equity, not to cut you up, how many equity they have? Suppose we have a 15 house in Liberia and they're running for president, but go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah, and they are political parties headquarters in the living room. We can't do
Yeah.
that. Mrs. Che, I think you came back to give some clarity on your ways and means position. I know you want to give some information. I know. Thank you very much from Studio 1 to Studio 2. Yes, but when how are you two? You wait up. What's going on, Mrs. Che? How can you be two?
She using two cell phone.
Can you hear me?
Oh, she too now.
Mama, that is scary. Are you there? Can you hear me, Mrs. Che?
Oh my God.
Amen. Go ahead.
But I want to ask a question to her, but she can't hear me.
No, I'm hearing you now. Are you hearing me?
Oh
yeah,
yes.
I hear you loud and clear. I said,
Okay, is the screen just one or two?
It's one right now.
Okay, so I was just trying to get to the comment where Mr. Logan commented.
Okay.
You know, so here's the thing. Mr. Logan, which I have all respect for, and people in his show that I have a lot of respect for as well. But when it comes to our community, we ask that we do not want division. And I feel like Logan is using his show to do so. No bad blood between my dear brother and I, which I care and love him very much. But, you know, this community is very small. And one thing my mother always used to say, some people on their lap. And some people, they earn it. They have to work hard, you know, for them to reach their goals. So when it is not your time, okay, when it is not your time, work along with others. Whatever idea you have, bring it on board. But it is not right to stay on the side. We are not saying you cannot criticize other people if they are doing wrong. Okay, we will all disagree to agree.
Yes.
But at the same time, you also have to come on board to help. A lot of people claim they have all the degrees, they have all this extra, they are educated. But guess what? Come on board, bring your skills.
Yeah.
We are open to it. You understand?
Yeah.
We are open to it. And for me, I would make this clear to everyone. For those of you who sitting on show talking about, I'm going to resign, I, Sabah Soso, Ajoki, will never resign from my position.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I would not resign. And with those of you who have all the master degrees and all the PhD and all the extra, you can come on board. But guess what? You're going to work under me.
Yeah.
You will work under me.
That's right. And matter of fact, get to buttress that. The PhD degree holder, I don't want to eat my money in this community. But that's another topic I will bring here. I gotta discuss that. Our how you call it? Our 501c3 is staying in
Coach Chairman, we gotta continue the show.
Yeah, we gotta continue, my brother.
My father said no yellow journalism. My father.
Come again.
My father said, Masagi said no yellow journalism.
So I'm a member of this community. I pay my dues, so I have the right to discuss some of these stuff. And like she said, the issue is not about title. The issue is not about the degree you have before you can produce or before you can deliver. People cannot have a degree that can deliver the deliverables. That's how it look like.
Right.
People we trusted in this community will give them a piece of job for the board, the inaugural board committee. What happened, Mr. Chairman? What happened at the end of the day? people walk away with tears in their eyes because million was taken away from our community. And we cannot live like this. And the issue of that has been putting under the rock, and we cannot live like that. I'm so happy that we got somebody on board that is willing to give us generator, that is willing to give us speaker, that is willing to do things for us in this community. That's how we should be thinking. We should be thinking outside the box. Not just in one place standing around or to just go to party, people shaking that booty. That is not what we're here for. We are thinking how our children will come after us and see what we have done in this community. You, Mr. Chairman, you been in this community. We saw the old people here. What did they leave in the bank for us? If it was not having parents that left money in the bank for us to see today and adding on to that, what did we see? Nothing. What can we boast of in this community? We pay our dues, we don't get anything. But anyway, I will allow the madam to go ahead, and because I don't want to dive into other issues that will lead to other things, I will bring another topic that will be discussing, will not lead to here. So, Adoki, go ahead and discuss your stuff. We are honored to have you on this show today.
And I'm proud to be here too as well. So, like I was saying, on the Logan hours, like I don't watch the Logan hours because it's not like I don't want to watch it, but I don't have the time, and a lot of time I'm at work. So, but a lot of time my husband is on there as well. But here's the thing, okay? His last show he had recently, they were talking about my appointment. You know, at the end of the day, I am not here to speak on Mr. Kabar, which is my co-chair and my dear brother as well. We had our differences in the past, but it's been 9 years ago. The president would not be that stupid to jump over Mr. Kabar and just appoint me. The president is a very wise man and very smart. You understand? And sometimes things happen in the back. You don't expect people to just come on or up front to just start talking. And Mr. Kabar and our issue is a family matter. So even if we settle our differences, I'm not here to come be on Facebook taking pictures before you guys know that we settle our differences. You understand? So at the end of the day, if Mr. Kabar and I did not if we wasn't on a speaking terms or whatever, last year I believe Mr. Kabar had a white party. And those of you who know our problem we had in this community, I have never been to any of his party he had. But last year, I believe my dear brother Joseph said you attended our white party and you saw me there.
I was there too.
I was there. My husband and I attended the party. So if we wasn't speaking on a speaking terms, for Christ's sake, what would I be doing there?
Yeah.
This is a community issue, okay? We work with a lot of people we do not get along with. But you still have to work to make your money. You are working for your community. I'm not paying Mr. Kabar. Mr. Kabar is not paying me. So we are here to serve our community.
That's all right.
We are not here to say, oh, we should be buddy and we should come on Facebook to take pictures for people to know that we're talking and other stuff. No. Like I told you before on the phone, I'm not here to talk about Mr. Kabar because, it's family issue. That's family issue, and I respect him and all that. But let's get to Logan, to Logan hours. He have women on there. They talk about empowering other women. So let's say, for example, I was appointed. If you want to empower other women in the community, okay, and you claim that's what you about, I was expecting those big sisters to maybe, even if you cannot go on LAI, to say, oh, congrats, but to reach out. Look, here says, we are here for you. If you need any help, if there's anything we can do to help you, we are here for you. But how can you go on show, you claim you want to empower other women, and you want to talk down on someone? How can you talk down on someone? No. Look, I've been around for a long time. I may not have all the master PhD degree, but guess what? I still bring my check in.
Yeah.
And I still take care of my kids and my family.
That's very right.
Okay? A lot of you guys who have all the PhD and all the master degrees, some of you guys do not even pass your state board. You're still sitting there working the same jobs we're doing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's not all about it. We have to work. This community is very small. We have to be together. As a big sister, I expected them to reach out. We don't have to be on the same team. We don't have to support the same people.
Yeah.
We're done. But guess what? We are all the same. Once upon a time, let my husband here, I was for Logan. I told him I will vote for Logan and I will vote for Boya.
Yeah.
So that's not bad blood.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this community is small. Logan, you did not win. With all the ideas you have, you didn't win. You can bring that on board.
Yes, that's
It
right.
don't have to be this group. And let me make something clear here. It's not going to be a certain group will just say like 10, 15 group of people will just sit on one side, think they're going to destroy something in the community. Look, this community is going to move forward.
Yes.
You guys are not going to do anything to stop this community from moving forward. And Mr. Logan,
right.
you made a statement, you made something, you said something on your show, when it comes to presenting budget, I shouldn't be stuttering or whatever. Look, my dear brother, I don't bite my tongue.
Yeah.
As a woman in life, when you're getting older, not everything you talk. You don't talk everything. You will not talk, and not everything that you see, you will speak on it. Sometimes you have to sit and watch.
Yes.
Okay? Not everything I run about here. I have children. I got a son that is about to be 18 years of age, and I have to set good example for him in this community.
Yep.
So I will not be out here running my mouth, be on show, on a comment section, insulting other people's parents, and talking down on other people. If I have issue with you, I'll tell you straight up forward, I got issue with you. And me being working in government, and let me make this clear right here and then. My family is one of the most important things to me. So people have the notion that when you're working in government, they will come online to insult you or to, to talk bad to you. But at the end of the day, we are, like I said, we are all the same.
Yes.
The same. You got parents. You have family. Fasia mentioned, it was a wrong timing for them to appoint me because Rose and I got into it. So if somebody, let's say, insult you or whatever at work, does that mean you will not go to work the next day?
No, I'll go to work.
Okay. So because somebody have issue with me and they have to appoint me, so the government will not function.
The government will move on.
We should put everything on hold.
No.
We're not going to put things on hold because of that. Those things can be solved behind closed doors.
Yeah.
People running around with a lot of fake news. And I expect, Logan, if you hear something, reach out to both parties to hear the side of the story before you get on your show. Because anything you put on your show will stay there forever.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's what I have to say. And I appreciate all the mothers who reached out to me when I got appointed. They reached out to me and told me that when I need any help, they will always be by my side to make things possible for us in this community. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for everything, for always being there. Since my mother passed away, I got a lot of people on my side who've been there, and they take me to be their daughter, which I look up to in this community. So, like I said, I would not and I would never resign from my position. If anybody have any issue or if anybody want to work along, you are welcome to come on board. Thank you so much, Open Table. I appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna go for now.
Yeah, don't go. We love you.
Sabah, wait 1 minute. I want to say something before you leave.
Before you say something, make sure you prepare some kind of nice tabagi with some meat.
Tabagi pie is always here. We from Lofa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Lofa. I'm from Fonchama. So tabagi pie.
That's Lofa right there. Yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah.
Yes, Sabah. I want to make this clear to the community. This area association is to where it is today because of people like Sabah doing RVT panel administration I know what Sabanen did behind closed door. You know, it had not been for their support behind the Harvey administration, this organization would not be to where it is today. So people that will come up and just talk because they don't know what people in the community have been working quietly. They don't want their, you know, they don't want to be in the public with their services to the community. And it's not because
Right.
Sabah is here today. I can always say that, you know, to anybody, Sabah has done well for this community. And I was so excited to have even seen her name on as a Ways and Means chair today. You know, I was very much excited because I know her capability. I know what she can do in bringing people together. Sabah will be one of the engines to bring, you know, to break the gap between people in this community that have animosity between them. I've seen it and I know it can happen. So, Sabah, I want to say thank you for stepping up now to come up publicly with your services, that people know what you can do, you know, and do not mind every noise. Not every noise you're gonna respond to. Either you didn't hear it, you hear for your community. That's my little advice. Just do what is best. You think is best for this community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chi, before you leave, get your parting statement before you leave. Your parting statement.
Yeah. Like my brother Jan just said, you know, do not listen to people. Like for me right now, as you can see my eyes. I don't know if y'all can see my eyes.
Yeah, we can see your eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm seeing right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But after that, I'm not saying nothing else again. I can see after this show.
Okay.
I'll have to wear glasses to see certain things.
Yeah.
And to listen to certain things right now. After this show, I have to wear some kind of earbud or something because trust and believe. A lot of people who go on a comment section, a lot of people who go out there to say negative things about other people, they have their own problems to deal with. At the end of the day, we are not here to question anybody, to judge anyone. We are here to make our community better.
Yes.
And like I said, if you have any skills, if you are in the position to work, to serve our community, come on board. We are willing to help you. To receive you. Come and serve your community. Look, I've been here for so long. I've been so busy. I have my own thing going on. And sometimes when you meet the right person, you know, they try to push you. Like my husband was like, you know what, you will be good for this. Go. He pushed me to take this position. And I want to tell him thank you too for all his advice and everything he have done and continue to do, you know, for our household and for this community. So, you know, it's not about different side, but it's about we all to be together. We need to be together as community. So with that being said, Open Table, I want to say thank you so much. The Ways and Means committee is willing to have people on board. Please come on. We are willing to have you guys. Just call me. My phone number is 973-332-8057. My email address will also be posted. You can come on board, reach out, and also if you can't get me, you can reach out to my co-chair, Mr. Barakaba. And, you know, we are willing to accept people on the Ways and Means committee. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you. But before you go, make sure when you're having the July 26th program, make sure Open Table logo be in your brochure. If there's any brochure or any newspaper, Open Table logo should be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honorable Chairman, where are you? Honorable Chairman. Mr. Volula?
Yep.
Yeah, parting statement.
Yeah, is Uncle Theo still with us?
No, I don't think everybody gone. You and I now. If it, as you said, Junior, I can't find him.
Okay. Well, I want to say thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great show. And you know, let me just include this in my parting statement. The Ways and Means, now we have people that will do the work. And I believe that they will do extremely well. They will do extremely well.
Get a test back.
Oh, yep. Mr. Jate, I know I have one question. I have one question. One more question about the Josh Weir. Even though we have Josh Weir, is popular, still popular in the face of the Liberian people, in Liberia as a whole. With the human rights report that came out on Liberia last month, and there was, I think, 3 or 4 count. Liberia was indicted. The George Weah led government was indicted in that report.
Mr. Vurule, we're now closing. Can we close now? Mr. Vurule, we can table that. Can we close?
Okay. All right, we can table that. We can table that. Yeah, we can table that. Well, yeah, that get our
Mr. Tio Jonathan, Mr. Jonathan can close, then Mr. Chia close, then Mr. Vurula, you close. Then I can close, then Mr. Chairman can go ahead and close the whole stuff, then we can force ahead and do other stuff. Mr. Jonathan.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
But you gotta sit up a little bit. Only your glasses we can see.
Okay, hold on. Just give me a few seconds. Just hold on.
Okay.
All right. So this is what I want to say. I want to say thank you to you guys for the discussion today. I'm more. I can say excited and privileged to be on you guys' show. This is a very good discussion. I was just listening to the lady that were complaining about the situation that going on in the community and her dissatisfaction with people that criticizing her. To be very frank, and this is on a personal level, and it saddens me sometimes though that you can't have most of the time you can't have a healthy discussion. Most of the time in the community, just to talk to someone like, hey, what you doing is good or it's not good. Usually, and even this happens all of the time on a debate or people having discussion. People always say, you know who you're talking to. You guys not educated. You guys are NOSCO. You don't know what you're doing. You know who you're talking to. It's you can't move the community forward with this kind of behavior. But quite sadly though, you can't stop it. Some people that they are way of life, that they are way of doing things. I think we should all rally around our community leaders and support them, criticizing them, telling them they are not educated, they are this and that. It makes me sad, to be friendly, and that is on a personal level. And that's why usually when I'm having a discussion like this or talking to people, I don't talk about education, because almost always it doesn't matter. What matters is what you can do. Show me what you can do. It's not the paper, right?
Yes.
But I want to say thank you to Mr. Chia. He's right here, to the chairman, to my man Yan for the kind of healthy discussion. I love how to joining open table anytime, and I appreciate it. So I just want to make it very short to say thank you to open table. Thank you to all of you for the kind of healthy discussion, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jalater. We are happy to have you, and we will be reaching back into you. Maybe another topic will continue. We will have you on this show so we can discuss some fruitful stuff on this open table. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, you can go ahead and get a parting statement. We're about to wrap it up.
Well, thank you, XYZ. Thank you, Chairman Sele. Thank you, Mr. Vulule, and thank you, Mr. Jarate. Well, this discussion was very healthy, and I think is the right step in the right direction to always have these discourse. And I would like to appreciate all the panelists and the guests from the Ways and Means, Patience Kanimbe and Madam Sosa, who came on. So I think these things are necessary for the community. I think it goes a long way in building our own capacities. I think stepping out at this time to serve this community is worth a while. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to my wife. I know she did a splendid, and I think looking at her becoming the person she is joyous, and I think with what I've seen, I think we can get a long way to go because you see, politics is not just about the optics. Sometimes the personality that comes on board change the narrative. So I believe that everyone of us will work along in making sure that this community never fails because it's the bigger picture. And I would also love to say thanks to the critics out there because without them we are no one, we are nobody because they push us to our limits and we are here to deliver because I want to piggyback on something that was written when she was appointed. I saw the word cronyism posted by a local politician. I laugh because when you look at that word, the true definition of it, the person who posted is practicing cronyism right in his own domain. So I mean, I just laugh. Sometimes you just don't comment on these things because when you look at the way we are structured as people, there's no way we can live in absentia from these things. So I just laugh. You know what I'm saying? But all I can say is thank you for all the criticism. Bring on board your expertise. So let's all put our hands together and work together. Liberia, the Liberian community in the diaspora here, EULA, everything becomes a bigger picture. We're not individuals anymore. We're serving this community. And in serving this community, it's like giving service. So giving service is volunteerism. So we appreciate all those who step up to take the criticism and work towards a bigger picture. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Vululai, go ahead and give a parting statement so the chairman can come out, and then we're going to be wrapping up real quick.
Yes. It was a great show. It was a great show. Thanks to the chairman. Thanks to you, co-chair, for hanging in there with us. We went overboard today. That's fine. We'll adjust next time.
Yes.
You know, only Liberians dwell on someone not speaking good English, so you're not fit to hold certain position. Only Liberian dwell on you don't have a degree, so you're not fit to hold certain position or to be among people. But when you reach to our various job site, the Indians, do those people speak English? But yet they bring good ideas on the table that will first the organization forward, that will give good profit to the organization. When you check the American, they don't dwell on degree, they don't dwell on whether you speak English or not. They dwell on what you can bring on the table that will bring profit to their organization or to their company. That's what they dwell on. But we Liberian, as long as you don't speak good English or you don't have a degree, they classify you automatically as nobody in society. And that mindset, we need to get from out of that mindset and respect one another and embrace one another. Whenever we step out to do stuff, they encourage that person to go their higher high in whatever they are step up to do. That encourage them. Those things is not healthy to criticize everything that we do. It's good to criticize, but sometimes when you see your brothers or sisters that have not done something, that you are not seeing them to step up to do something before, when you see them up there, that take that time to embrace them and encourage them that, oh, I've not seen you done this before in the public space. Now that you are here, I'm encouraging you, go forward, you get our support. That alone will embrace that person to even do more in life. And whenever you are among people and one of you succeed or one of you go up on the ladder, know that you yourself is getting credit as well, because why? You are in that circle. So these things we need to do better in our community. The community is very little, and this where we are burning our children, we acquiring properties and stuff, and we're not leaving from here anytime soon. So the better way we can do, the better thing we can do now is to unite and do the best thing. That's it, to give that foundation to our children to step into unity, to move, to grow up in unity and move forward in unity. Thank you, Open Table.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fulolat. Thank you for your parting statement, Honorable Chairman.
First of all, I would like to say thanks to all our guests, Mr. Theophilus Gilate, Mr. Sabah Chie, Mr. Jeremiah Chie, Madame Patient Kanba. I want to say thanks to every one of them for hanging out with us on a Saturday. It's important that you take care of your family and unwind on a Saturday. But hanging out with us today was a privilege. We take that dearly, and we appreciate you all for hanging out with us on Open Table. Let me share light a little bit on a Sabbath issue before I can move forward with my closing. You see, there's one thing you guys, people in this community should admire. I'm talking about the community of Indiana, Liberians in Indianapolis. Should admire about Sabah. She's a hardworking woman. Sabah will not go in anywhere, shape, or form to ask people to pay her bills, not pay her rent. In regards of her status and achievement, she took care of her family in the rightful manner, and her son and daughters are doing well. For too many times, Liberians, we have this ego and this showmanship that we like to show people what we have or what we get. Most time we find ourselves trying to compare because we want to one up or edge the next person. This job is not about how fluent and you can speak, how good of a speaker you are. This is not like an ambassador job that you should be going to Washington D.C. This job is people related. She's a Ways and Means committee. She has all the qualification to be a Ways and Means chair, because for the most part she will be meeting people, calling people, and having a good relationship with them, for which she has been working on. I was in the presence of Sabah when she made the move to discuss with her brother, James Bala. People will always want to dwell on the negative because that's why it's not worthy in this community, in every community in this America. When you see Liberians, especially Liberians, we love to dwell negative. So I wish her well. I wish her and her community's member well. I know that they will do great. And we will be rooting for them, we'll be cheering for them. In a community this small, or the community is not that large, you have to run into those type of appointments. People will have to step up, especially when others are failing to step up. Madam Mistress Pele was offered a job, she declined. Mr. Bana was offered a job, he declined. So when people are declining job, what do people expect? Everyone to decline a job? That's not going to happen. That's their witch, and that is not going to happen, because even if Logan was president of this community and he offered a job to some of us and he need that help, we will step up to it. Because when you do not win an election, it's not the end of the world. People are not accepting defeat the way it's supposed to. Opposition is not enemies. We should not look at opposition to be enemy, and that's why people are trying to create. And there's an unfortunate situation, because now they are using hatred as their louder emotions, and we cannot use that. Now, I was appointed budget chair, and my brother, Mr. Morris Gore, was appointed co-chair. I hear about nepotism. Now, for sometimes people are learning, but sometimes they misconstrue words. I don't understand how you go to find nepotism in my appointment when the person that was appointing me was never in my family. I was appointed to serve with my brother, Morris Gore. And people are saying nepotism, so frightening and sometimes so saddening that I saw some people that I expected to know the better definition of the word nepotism talking about nepotism. Do I have a relationship with the president? I do. But when you are talking nepotism because I'm appointed to work alongside my brother, you are going on a trajectory that is off target. But then again, before I was offered that job, I declined so many times. And the president, in his wisdom, could not find somebody to do the job. And I stepped up to do the job. Bar of NMP not receiving budget. And I will do the job to the best of my ability because that's what we do when we're in our community. When you're in a community, you appoint family members because the community is not that large. The pool of people to do the job, you don't have that many people waiting to do the job. Too many times people are waiting to criticize their work. And that's why we find ourselves in this community. But again, to Mr. Parker and his administration, I say thank you guys for the appointment. And we will do our best to make sure we move this community forward because if the table is on the other side and we are offered to do the work for this community, we'll go ahead and do it. We will accept. So again, thanks to everyone for the show. It was a good show, Mr. Moderator, Mr. John Z. XYZ, the greatest XYZ, the man who is abreast and accustomed to politics. Both here and back home, you did well with the show, and we are trying to make sure this thing is going to last long beyond me. And I'm not the one that is going to be the one in charge of this. Mr. XYZ runs things around here and with the help of Yan and others. But we thank you all for following us. And this is your show. Whenever you want to come and join and discuss things here and back home, you are welcome to Open Table. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much. I think there's a need of things to start playing, so we start rolling things around here.
I will play your theme song.
Yeah. Mr. Vulula, are you there? Mr. Vulula, Mr. Vulula, Mr. Vulula.
I'm here. I'm here.
OP table. Today, April 23, some of the discussion. We're discussing the influence. That's what Liberian comes to October 10, 2023. What's the influence that we have over the people in Liberia? That's what they were discussing. And then we had a Ways and Means chair. Sabat Hassan here was with us, along with Patient. And that of Mr. Studio guest, who is Mr. Jonathan. Mr. Jonathan, along with Mr. Chief. We're all yet discussing the issue. Thank you very much. If you are in Indianapolis, Indiana, Minneapolis, Minnesota, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. In Liberia, Lofa County, Republic of Liberia, thank you very much. Honorable Chairman, just like I said, Gino is in studio with us today. This is how we're going to come to today's edition of the table. I want to apologize to every one of you. I think it's for too long today because we have so many to touch on, you know. So based on that, we're going to be closing our OP table show today, and this is how we come to the end of this OP table. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.